This was a lot. What's good, everybody? Thank you all so much for clicking on the video. I really appreciate it. We are here today to talk about Love Island USA Season 8, Episode 25. And the name of the episode is called Episode 25. But I want to name this episode, okay? So I came up with a name for this episode. You ready for it? The name of the episode is called Mama Happy. Baby, when I tell you Sincere had soul filling her puss so much, baby, she was walking around the village calling herself Mama, baby. Mama Happy. Okay? So, as you all know, I told y'all this before. This is my second season watching Love Island USA. And last year they didn't have a movie night, so I didn't really know what to expect from movie night. Right, I know that I watched After Sun, and they was telling people to send in clips if they wanted to see or what they should be played at movie night. But I really didn't know what to expect or how this was going to go down. I envisioned that it was going to be like a split screen the whole time because I wanted to watch everybody. I wanted to watch everybody's face, everybody's expression when every clip was shown. But I think they did a good job. It was really, really messy though. Is it going to be some good clips? I don't know. This is my first season. Okay. So the episode started off after Aniya and KC had that talk last episode. And KC is actually talking to Titi now, and he's telling Titi that they have two different perspectives. Y'all are two different people. Of course, y'all gonna have two different perspectives, okay? He says that he feels bad, but he's not open to exploring with Aniya anymore, and he just wants them to be cordial, okay? Titi is saying that she hopes 2 months from now that her and KC are still together. Are y'all together now? Because I haven't heard KC say, I mean, I know that KC bought TT to the villa, but that doesn't mean that they closed off or they in a relationship, okay? Then we got Carl and Aniya, okay? Carl ended up asking Aniya what she would do for a living if she didn't have to worry about money. She said that she would live in the woods in nature, okay? Carl said that he would dance a lot. And Aniya said that he was a good dancer. And I couldn't really tell because they ended up losing the dance challenge against KC and TT. And I really didn't see Carl dance. He took his clothes off, and you know he got butt naked damn near. All he had on was drawers. KC still had on his pants. Now we found out on After Sun that Sydney said that KC had actually took off his belt and he was popping TT on her ass with the belt. We didn't see any of that, but I didn't really see any dance moves from Carl. Okay, Aniya ended up telling Carl that her chat with KC was good and he apologized for being disrespectful. Carl asked Aniya how does she feel about their connection, and Carl is kind of giving player vibes to me, right? I don't need you asking me every second how do I feel about the connection, because when I hear how do you feel about our connection too many times, I'm thinking you trying to stay in the house. Is you gonna keep me in the house? That's what I'm hearing, right? But it really doesn't matter what Aniya says. Again, if I'm Carl, it really doesn't matter what Aniya says to me because she told him right before the recoupling that she felt good about their connection and she picked KT. So what is the use of even asking her, right? Carl says that he feels good and he's happy to be there, and they started kissing. And baby, Aniya ended up straddling Carl, okay? She said that she thought that she was gonna fuck that man and say less. And this is why I say Aniya needs therapy. Do I believe Aniya is into Carl? Hell no, right? She said that she wanted fine shit, and when she picks up fine shit, it was not Carl, right? But she shrouded Carl like that because she's hurt, right? She wants to be desired and she wants to feel beautiful because she doesn't, right? That's what she told. And I'm not saying that I don't think that Aniya is a bad girl, bad looking girl. I mean, I think that she can get a different wig, and I'm not trying to talk about her hair, but I'm just saying the wig is stiff now. I've seen Aniya, pictures and stuff of Aniya without that wig in her head. Maybe she thought that, maybe Aniya probably can't really do hair like that or whatever. And she thought that that'll be easy to just throw some Jericho activator on that shit and go. But it's aging her, okay? But I think that she doesn't feel beautiful in the house. That's what she told Zack and what she told Sincere. And especially what's happening after now with Casey. And I think that she wanted to feel beautiful and desired, right? And she wanted to have rebound sex, right? Like Solange said on Cranes in the Sky, I tried to sex it away, but that just made me even sadder. It's not gonna fix anything. You have to do the work within yourself, okay? And I think this is not who Aniya is, right? She's not this sex kitten, over freaky girl like that or whatever. She's hurt and she's trying to fill a void. And it's not going to fill that her having sex with Carl is not going to fill that void. That isn't who she is. And if it really was who she was, we would have saw it by now. And that's not who she is. Okay. And the crazy thing is, I feel like the audience knows that's not who she is, right? Nobody really believes that she was getting ready to everybody. I feel like that everyone in America looked at Aniya in their scene and said, girl, this ain't you. What you doing? But I think that the people who just won't, I feel like people who like Aniya will not admit that. That's not who she is. Y'all are trying to go up for her doing this to Carl because y'all want to see KC or hurt or you feel like that it will hurt KC in some way or whatever, but this is not who she is, okay? Then we get Jen, Parmita, and Jaden talking. Jen shares that she told Gal that they're not going to be together. I don't think that she told Gal that. I thought the Gal told her that, okay? She said that Gal is a scary pussy-ass bitch, and he's afraid that the girls in the villa are not going to talk to him, and he wants to focus on other girls. And she said, you know, this shouldn't be this hard. Love shouldn't be this hard. It wasn't love, baby. It wasn't love, okay? Jaden is saying that she used to a dominant and assertive man, and she's scared that she's going to hurt Caleb, and she's confused. And so this is an opening for Amara. Baby, Amara is making me a believer in her manifestations. Remember, she said that everything is going to work out in her favor, and it seems to be working out, right? Sincere didn't pick her, but God said, I got other plans for you. And he bought her in the villa anyway, right? Then she is saying, who was she talking to? Titi. She said that she had eyes on Caleb, and now Jaden is saying, I don't want the nigga no more. You get what I'm saying? So everything is working out in her favor. She needs to come out with a manifestation, but because I'm loving it right now. Then we get Kenzie and Dylan, okay? She ended up telling Dylan that she had a conversation with Gal, and they made out. She said that she wanted to have a conversation with Gal for a couple of days, and she didn't know if it would be a question mark or not. And what did she say? If she didn't, it would be a question mark. That's what she said. If it didn't, it would be a question mark. And it made her realize her feelings for him. I think that that's bullshit. I think that Kenzie thinks because she's telling Dylan what happened and presented it in an easy way that it should be okay. And then following it up with, it made me realize my feelings for you is a way to sucker him in. But girl, that's bullshit. And it's game. It's game. And so my thing is, you had to kiss Dylan. You had to kiss another nigga to realize or make you realize that you had feelings for Dylan. Right? That's bullshit. Dylan started crying. He says that it hurts. I do think that Kenzie is abusive. I do think that she's abusive in the way that she presents stuff, in the way that she, you know, it's trying to get innocent, but it's very abusive, okay? He said there's no need to keep exploring if you got something good. And I'm a sensitive Cancer, so I get it. But my thing with Dylan is you just met Kenzie at most 5 days ago. It hasn't even been a week. It hasn't even been a week in the villa. It's only been 5 days at most. Because remember, they came back from Casa. The guys came back from Casa after 3 days. This is probably 2 days later. And you over here crying over Kenzie? You over here crying over Kenzie? I can't believe it. Okay? They ended up walking away from, I believe they wasn't at Say Less, they was at the other spot. And he ended up walking away. They ended up walking in separate directions. And he ended up running into Kayda and Zack. And he was crying. They was like, oh my God, you're crying. And they hugged him. And he says that he feels stupid. And you should feel stupid, right? I believe that the Casa Bombshells watched the show like we did. Well, I know that some of them did. Maybe they wasn't doing their homework. I feel like if I'm going to go on the show, I'm going to have to watch everything to see what's going on because the Bombshells kind of really know who they was going for, okay? And so my thing is, if you watch the show, you knew she was the whole of the season. And so you should have known what to expect. Before he came on here, I want to say that we've seen her with with at least 4 niggas. So I'm trying to understand why you coming over here leading with your heart with this hoe. No shade. No shade, okay? Then we get Aniya and Sincere, okay? Aniya says that she's happy that Carl is there. She said that he says the perfect things. It's game, mama. It's game. You just a little green, but it's game, okay? Aniya said that she's happy and grateful for Sincere. And I'm thinking, grateful for Sincere? He's the one who started making her feel insecure about herself when he picked Mel over her. So why are we happy and grateful for Sincere? I could see if she came out of the villa a stronger woman and a more confident woman, but we haven't seen any of that. So why are we grateful for Sincere? Okay, Sincere said that we would have friendship out, that he sees them having a friendship outside the villa, and beyond that is more game from Sincere that we're gonna get into later on in the episode. Okay, he ended up sharing with Aniya that he doesn't care that Amar is about Amar being in the villa, but because he doesn't want to explore her anymore, and he says that he wants to close things off with Melanie soon because she deserves it after all the shit that she put up with his. And we have to talk about the women going through abuse and then a nigga finally giving them prizes for going through the abuse. Right? This is what he's saying. She deserves to be closed off with after all of the shit that he put her through. And all of the shit that you put her through, and we haven't even got through the whole 6 weeks yet. We haven't even got through the whole 6 weeks yet, and you done put her through all this bullshit. Okay? So everybody's getting ready for bed. Caleb is asking everybody, what does French fry mean? And it means fingering. And I really think that I'm just being real. I think that fingering is childish. Like we grown years old. These are 22, 23, 25. Bryce just turned 30 years old and y'all still sticking fingers in pussy. I mean, I would just think that if you sticking fingers in pussy, it's followed by dick. Like, we grown. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might as well fuck, right? And so they go to sleep. Everyone is asleep, but there is action from Parmita and Corbin, Kayda and Bryce, and Kenzie and Dylan. Okay. If all else fails, at this point, you can bet that Corbin or Parmita are going to be making out, and you can bet that Kenzie's going to have somebody's fingers in her pussy. Something is going to go down in those two beds. Okay. I think that Kenzie feels like that it doesn't make her a hoe if they didn't fuck, so she's just going around here getting French fried. But French frying is still a form of sex. These are still bodies on you, baby. There are still body parts on you, so it is still a form of sex. It is. Okay? The next morning, KC is telling the guys that he didn't really get to say what he needed to say out to Aniya. Okay? My thing with KC is that he should have started the conversation off when he pulled her for the chat, or he should have said intentions, right? He should have said something like, Aniya, I want you to go first and I won't interrupt, and I expect the same for when I go, or you know what I'm saying? Set the intentions for the conversations, because he seems to have a hard time communicating, especially with Aniya, because she likes to gaslight and she likes to cut him off, right? And so he should have set intentions for the conversation. Kenzie is talking to Aniya. She said that she's still feeling Gal, but she's feeling Dylan more. She said that Dylan makes her feel good. She said she felt a spark with Gal, and she wanted to see what it felt like. But she didn't tell Jen, so she's going to have to pull her for a chat and tell her. Well, Aniya actually encouraged her to pull Jen for a chat and to tell her. But you can tell that when she told Aniya, Aniya looked upset with Kenzie, that she didn't approve of what Kenzie had done. Okay? Then we got Gal talking to Carl. He said that he's relieved that he's not in this relationship or coupling with Jen, and that he kissed Kenzie, but he doesn't want to be in a love triangle, okay? He said that he wants to explore more, possibly Amora. So now we got Amora. Her manifestations is working, baby. She got two options, right? She could get with either Caleb, or Gal, okay? Now, Carl said that he was into Aniya as well, that he said that he was going to make her wait a little bit, or you know what I'm saying, that it was going to take him a time for his walls to fall down. But he says that he's into her now, and that they kissed the day before, and that his heart is now full. I think that Carl is a nice guy. I think that he's confident with Aniya now, since he knows that her and KC are done. So that's why the walls are down, right? And I can tell by the way that Carl was talking to Gal that those kisses that he's given Aniya, he doesn't just give me a guy who's just kissing to be kissing. The kisses from Carl actually mean something to him. You get what I'm saying? He doesn't give me like a Kenzie just running around kissing people, or a Sincere just running around kissing people. Because we saw Sincere kissing Amara, and we know that it means shit, right? To me, I think that these kisses that Carl are giving now, they really mean something to him. Okay? Then we get Kayda talking to Jen, and Kayda ended up telling Jen that Kenzie kissed Dylan the night before, and he was crying. To me, I think that Kayda was out of line. I think that it was messy, and I don't think that it was her place. In my opinion, in my humble opinion. Shout out to Monique, okay? Jen said that she feels bad for Dylan, and more bad for Dylan than herself. You should feel bad more for Dylan than yourself, because unlike Dylan, you knew what was going to happen when you brought Gal into this house, because he told you that he still was going to explore Kenzie, okay? Then Jen says she doesn't care that Kenzie kissed him, but it's annoying and she's human. But why does she have to find out through Kayda, okay? She feels like that Kenzie likes the attention, and she needs the attention to survive in the villa, and it's not cute. My thing with Jen is, why do you care honestly, right? You knew that he wanted to explore with Kenzie before you picked him. He told you that. And you and Gal broke it off. So what did you think was going to happen? And I feel like that he kissed her. Well, I know that he kissed her right after he broke things off with Jen. So why is she so upset? And I get that you're saying that you're being human, but it's giving me that you hate. I think that Jen is upset and she feels like that she lost, right? Gal is doing everything to Kenzie that he didn't want to do to her, and now she mad about it. But my thing with Jen is you set yourself up.
You's a stupid motherfucker.
You's a stupid motherfucker. There is no way that Gal should have been in that house. Okay? She said that she's annoyed because Kenzie said that she was going to be transparent. Girl, whatever. Whatever. I feel like that your feelings is hurt. But regardless of your feelings being hurt, no matter who he's kissing, he didn't want to be with you. And you should, and that's the end of it. He doesn't want to be with you, and it is what it is. If it wasn't Kenzie, it was going to be somebody else, and you was going to feel a certain type of way anyway because you brought him into the house, which is why he should have never been in the house. You were not about to get a free ride in the villa off of me, right? I would have picked Ronnie or somebody that I knew was attracted to me, but all you did was bring in another option for Kenzie. This is Kenzie Island, USA. Okay? Then Jen ended up pulling Kenzie for a chat. Okay? Kenzie ended up starting off with, I was curious about Gal, and we kissed in the speakeasy. Girl, stop. Okay? Jen ended up telling her, look, I wish you didn't have to come to this. Dylan was blindsided like Caleb. It is not fair to the guys what you're doing, right? Now you're putting me into it. No. Jen, I feel you, but you put yourself into it because you knew, okay? Kenzie said, if I have a spark with someone, and Jen cut her off, and she said, I understand, but if this wasn't Love Island, I wouldn't be your friend because I wouldn't trust you at all. And so Kenzie says, I feel like you're mad at me for exploring my connection. I know I'm not a bad person, and I'm definitely not a bad friend. That's the problem. You wasn't exploring your connection. You was exploring Jen's connection. Right? You wasn't exploring your connection. You was exploring Jen's connection, who is supposed to be your friend. This is a guy that actually sleeps in the bed with her, right? And you was exploring this connection or trying to explore this connection before her and Gal even called it off. And to me, that makes you, I just feel like that if my friend had brought somebody into the villa, I just wouldn't fuck with them at all, right? The only reason why Gal is in that villa is because of Jen. And so to me, the fact that she brought him in, this is supposed to be your best friend in the island. If the fact that she brought him in, you shouldn't be fucking with him at all, right? And my thing is, not only are you a bad friend, you're a whore. You're a whore. And I feel like that Kenzie wants to excuse all her whoreness under the guise of I'm exploring just because they're on Love Island. But just because you could doesn't mean that you should, right? Because in my opinion, what I'm thinking is that outside the villa, there will be a lot of sparks you feel, right? And does that mean that you're going to explore them as well? Anytime you find somebody attractive and any negative winky's eye at you, you're going to try to give them a kiss? No, okay? Kenzie ended up telling Jen, I'm not hiding anything from you. I just wish I would have told you early. Sorry that I hurt your feelings. I'm sorry, and I love you, girl. Bye. Bye, girl. Go away. Apollo, go away from me with this. Go away from me. I feel like as soon as you kissed Gal, if you really wanted to tell that girl, you should have went and told, before you went and told Dylan, you should have went and told Jen, in my humble opinion, okay? Then we get Kenzie talking to Dylan, okay? And I'm starting to see why the 5th grade teacher saw that Kenzie was dumb. And I don't think that she's necessarily dumb. I just think that she lacks social skills because why in the fuck would she go and talk to Dylan, right? You done went and cried. You done left Dylan and went and talked to Gal. Went from Gal, right? You done went from Gal and told Dylan was crying. And then you went and talked to Jen. Jen kind of made you cry. Now you coming back over here to Dylan, okay? She ended up telling Dylan that she talked to Jen and told him that and the kiss from Gal got to Jen, and she said that she wouldn't trust her in the outside world, right? And again, why would you cry to Dylan? You know what I'm saying? When he was crying to you, okay? Dylan said that he understands Jen. He wants to know if Kenzie is all the way in 100% and asked her if she wanted to explore anyone else. And she looked sad as she shook her head, no. And Dylan said in the confession that he feels like, well, she feels like that she hurt his feelings, so that's why she was looking sad. No, baby, she was feeling sad because she knew that she couldn't explore anymore. She knew that she couldn't explore anymore, and I feel like she still wants to explore, but with Cho crying ass, she can't explore no more, and she was sad. That when she gave me the way that when he asked her, do you still want to explore? And she shook her head, no, she looked like a whore. That wanted to say, yeah, but she don't want to hurt your feelings and see you crying again. Okay? Because I can guarantee you in a couple of episodes, she's not gonna want to be with Dylan no more because she want to be out here kissing niggas. I'm on Love Island USA. You know what I'm saying? I want the niggas a DJ. Okay? Then we get Gal talking to Amar. I wonder, does Amar think that Gal is trying to holler at her? Or is she think that he's just trying to get to know people in the villa? You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't know what I would think if a motherfucker like Gal walked up to me and thought that he actually had a chance. In my opinion, I think that Gal was the first person that we saw of the bombshells, if I remember correctly. And usually when you see a group of people, the first person that you saw in the group is how you judge the group. Like, you know what I'm saying? And so when we saw Gal, I feel like when everybody saw Gal first, everybody said, there's some ugly ass bombshells. You know what I'm saying? These some ugly ass bombshells if we leading the charge with Gal. Okay? Amar told us that she found a job on Craigslist and it was a listing for bikini server girls. So she went and she said they gave them string bikinis and they was putting tips in her bikini. It sounded like she worked at a strip club or a whorehouse or something like that. What was they serving that they had y'all in string bikinis and they was putting the tips in the bikini? Okay? Then we got Mel talking to Sincere. She said that she has a feeling of safety is coming back with Sincere and everything seems calm until she got a text. Okay, the text said, grab your popcorn because the villa is hosting movie night. Okay, KC immediately looked sad. He just put his head down and said, I'm done, bro. I'm done, bro. And so Mel asked Sincere, is there anything that you want to tell me? And he told her straight up, no. You sure? Are you sure? I feel like that's something that you should have told her. Okay. Now, everybody is getting ready for movie night. I'm confused with the people saying that they didn't know what they said because I'm a person who knows exactly what I said. And even if I don't remember exactly what I said word for word, if you give me the context in which I said it, I'll be able to recall what I said because I'm a very emotional person and I feel like I speak from my emotions, right? So once you remind me of the situation, I'll remember exactly where my head was at or how I felt in that moment, right? So Titi said that she apologized ahead of time, and so did the other girls. Mel said that she's tired of being mad. Aniya said that she knows it's about to be some bullshit, and she knows she's going to be mad. And Kenzie said that she thinks that the girls should go into movie night having each other's back. Okay, so we get out there. Movie night starts. Everyone is telling jokes except for Sincere and KC. They look nervous as shit. They look nervous as shit, and I'm wondering, did they watch Love Island? Again, if I was to fill out an application for Love Island, I would have. If I was filling out a application to join Love Island, I would try to watch every season that I could before I go. But it doesn't seem like they knew that movie night was coming up. You know, this is crazy to me that y'all don't think that it was coming up. I would expect everything to happen my season. Okay, so it's gonna be girls versus boys. Each round, someone will flip a coin. Then they will pick the number door will open and it will reveal a cinematic masterpiece is what they said. Child, fuck all of that. We're going to talk about what happened. Okay. The first clip was Zack. And it was Zack in the Casa. Okay. So we ended up seeing him talking to Alana when he found out that she had a cat. He said that he was cooked. Okay. Then we got them in bed not doing nothing. All he was doing in bed was smiling. We got them kissing outside of a challenge twice. And Kayda is crying. And my thing is, it ain't even that bad, Kayda. Girl, you got to understand she gave him some pussy, so it's probably deeper for her, okay? Aniya was consoling Kayda, and she said, fuck him. That's what Aniya told Kayda, okay? Zack apologized. When Zack talked, it was silent, okay? He explained the clip. Nobody asked a question. All Kayda said to him is, why was you smiling in bed with her, okay? She said that she was respectful during Casa and seeing it back, bring back the feelings that she felt at first. He apologized again. It was silence. Again, it was nothing from the other girls directly to Zack. Keep a pin in that. Okay. Second clip was KC. Baby, and when it was KC, I'm thinking that we saving KC for last, right? Baby, it was KC right out the gate. Okay. The clips that they had, it seems like they had him from the villa and Casa. Okay? He said, me and Aniya ain't done shit. He was talking to Corbin, okay? And he said, Grandma, as soon as the lights cut off, Aniya be asleep. Now that is what Corbin said. And Aniya said, well, I'll be sleepy, okay? He ended up saying that, KC ended up saying that Aniya is very beautiful. It's more about her mindset. So he was complaining about her, said that she's a beautiful woman, but it's more about her mindset. She's too serious all the time, okay? He ended up saying in another clip that he feels like that he hasn't explored enough. The next time he was talking to Caleb, actually, and he said he would approach the next bombshell more aggressive than he did so. Well, Caleb actually led him into that. Caleb asked him, would he approach the next bombshell more aggressive than he did so? And he said that he would. I believe that he was talking to Sincere and Melanie, and he said that he can't fix shit off of somebody's past traumas that doesn't have shit to do with him, okay? He ended up saying that he feels restricted, that he would explore more, but every time he does, Aniya gets mad, cry, and makes any problem way bigger than what it is. And she does do that. She did do that, okay? Back in Casa, we see a video with him and Titi. He ended up asking Titi, do you know who I'm with? And she said, yeah, Aniya, but that's not your girlfriend, and you should explore, okay? And he said, I haven't explored anyone. And she said, well, you're going to explore me. And they started kissing. And Titi was just sitting back smiling. Aniya said, oh, that was quick, okay? I was like, oh, wow. Oh, wow, okay. So they have another clip of KC saying that the girls in the villa don't understand my powers. We ended up seeing him having a chat with Sydney, talking about sex, and they ended up kissing, okay? He ended up telling Sydney that he was coupled up with Aniya. And she ended up asking him, does he want to keep pursuing that? And he said, yeah, for now, okay? So that tells that when he walked in Casa, or the first day or second day in Casa, his mind wasn't made up. And of course, we know that his mind wasn't made up because he was asking that night to sleep with Sydney. So I do think that we ought to give, that KC is allowed a little grace because he is being honest, okay? He said that he doesn't feel the need of want from Aniya. And so Jen tells Aniya, you wanted him, but he doesn't feel wanted by all of us. So that means that he doesn't feel wanted. So it doesn't make sense. And I think that's very important what Jen said, because it's an insecurity on KC's part. I don't think that the Villa girls didn't find him attractive. I think that he's the most attractive guy there. But as Sincere said earlier, the girls are moving like they're in the outside world and making claims on men and being quote unquote girls. And the girls really aren't exploring people in the villa the way that Kenzie is, right? I expect that the girls is really exploring. We will see more of what happened earlier this episode between Kenzie and Jen, right? Where feelings and stuff are getting hurt, or, you know, like love triangles, okay? So when KC went to Casa, he was able to talk to more girls, so he was really feeling himself more and feeling wanted more because those girls were ready to explore, and he didn't really feel that from the girls in the villa. But again, that is the insecurity that he has. It doesn't mean that they didn't want you. Well, they did want you, but it wasn't because there was anything wrong with you. They just looked at you as Aniya's man, okay? So that's what I'm saying. It's not that the girls, I hope that makes sense what I'm saying. It's not that the girls didn't understand his aura. They was just playing Girls Island and not exploring. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? Then they showed him kissing Titi. Kissing Sydney. Corbin asked him, did Titi know? And he said, yeah, that Titi knew that he was kissing Sydney, okay? They showed a clip of him and Corbin saying that he and Corbin are going to break hearts. So at that point, I feel like his mind was clear that he was leaving that with something. I'm leaving here with something, right? Another clip, he ended up saying that him and Aniya don't have anything in common. I don't see that as a bad comment, because Mel literally told Aniya that KC doesn't fit in her world, right? And so the only thing that I see that they have in common is that they're Black. Other than that, I don't see that they have anything in common, okay? Sincere ended up telling Titi that KC is so different with her, that he has nothing against Aniya, she's dope, but every time he looks over and sees KC, he's smiling and he's happy. And so Aniya is saying, are you serious, Sincere? And yes, he's serious, right? If his friends are saying that he's happy, but when he's with you, he's mupping around, why would you want to continue to be with him if you make him miserable? Because that's what's going on. You make him miserable. He's not happy with you. Why would you want to continue to make a person miserable? You should want your partner or somebody you connected to be happy. I want you to be happy around me. I don't want no sad motherfucker around me, because if they sad around me, that's gonna make me sad, right? But better yet, why is Aniya upset with someone telling the truth, right? Because the audience even sees that KC is so happy with Titi. So why are you upset that Sincere is just stating the obvious? Okay? They ended up showing the clip of KC saying that he's not happy for Aniya. He doesn't give a fuck and she's on a thin line. And he says that he's not on a thin line because he literally spoke life into her every day. And that was confirmed by Aniya at the recoupling. She said that he reassures me every day. Okay? At the Casa recoupling, when he picked Titi, before he picked Titi, he had some words and he said that he wants to be with someone that makes him feel at peace and no stress, and Titi makes him feel at home and he's happy. Okay? In the middle of what was going on in KC's package, Trinity ended up asking, where's the angel girl? And so Jaden says that she left after night 2. And it's like, Kayda said, what do you mean she left? She wasn't at the recoupling? And Jada said, no, she left Casa day 2, okay? So then we get to KC. KC says, look, there's not much I can say. I'm sorry again. Aniya said, I don't want to hear it. You're good, bro. He said, let me talk. I can't make excuses. As much as bad clips there was good clips too. He said, I apologize not to just you. I apologize to everybody. KC, fuck everybody. That's the reason why everybody keep jumping in y'all shit, because you involved them. Fuck the rest of them. You were in a couple with Aniya, right? Quit inviting these other bitches in your shit. Because then they get, you know what I'm saying, they get to talking and putting their stuff in, but it's almost like you're inviting them in. You need to let it be known or make it known that you're talking to Aniya only. I think that you feel like that you have to explain everything. No, you don't have to explain everything to everybody else. You was in a couple with Aniya. You wasn't in a couple with the whole island. Okay? Kayda is upset saying, why am I just finding this out? Because she's still upset about the angel girl, Alana, not being there. Okay? Kayda said, why am I finding this out? If she was there, was he going to pick her? Jaden said, I thought that you knew this whole time. I think that production made sure, I believe that Amara, when she first came into the house and she was talking and Titi pulled her away, I believe that when Titi and Parmita came into the house, that production probably told them not to let Kayda know that Alana had left the villa. So, and I think that the production probably forgot to tell tell that girl, Amara, and I think that's why Titi pulled her away so quick. Okay? Trinity ended up saying, I got a question. If you felt like you had nothing in common with Aniya, why drag it on for weeks long? Because the same reason why you got nothing going on with, you have nothing in common with Bryce. That's the same reason why I've been dragging it along, because you don't got nothing coming with Bryce. Well, actually, y'all do got something in common. Nobody in the villa wanted y'all motherfucking asses, right? And so that's why y'all are dragging it along, because y'all not a real couple. I'm not buying it. Nobody wanted Bryce. Nobody wanted you. And y'all are together by default because nobody wanted y'all ass, just like nobody was at his door and Sincere rejected her. And somebody wrote in the comments, well, don't forget, just because nobody was at his door, just like nobody was at Aniya's door. Nobody picked Aniya, or not Aniya was rejected the first night too. But that has nothing to do with KC. That has nothing to do with KC. That Sincere rejected her. She stood at their door with Melanie, and he picked Melanie. And even furthermore, if you want to say it that way, because I feel like that everybody wants to look at Aniya as the victim, right? She stood at that door and she got rejected. That's part of the game, baby. You shoot your shot and you missed. You missed. But even though it goes to show KC in a different light, because she was dissed by Sincere and she was unsure of herself, and he reassured her every day. But nobody was at his door and she didn't reassure him. Like he said, I was trying to fill her cup every day. Nobody ever filled my cup up. And now, again, that goes to me thinking that I feel like we're in a day and age where some women treat men like props. They want him to pay all their bills. They want him to, they want him to do everything for them. But any type of thing that they have to do for him, oh, you a bitch, why you still worried about that? He got feelings just like everybody else. He wasn't the one that dissed Aniya. He told her she was beautiful. Was filling her cup up, but his cup is empty. He got feelings too. You don't think that hurt his feelings that nobody was at his door? Okay? Then Trinity said every time you said something was wrong with Aniya, it was lust. That's actually not true. He said that Aniya can take the smallest problem and make it bigger than what it is. That was actually true. Anytime they was in the game with Bryce and Zack threw shots, Aniya made it an issue. Aniya made it an issue. One to go ask him, well, what did you mean by this? And what did you mean by that? Because she was already feeling the way about the way that Sincere picked up her. So she didn't believe that old boy had, liked her. And just like KC said there was good things in there, he said that she was beautiful to his homeboys. If he didn't think that she was beautiful, he wouldn't have said that because he was really talking to his homeboys unfiltered, right? He said it was more where her mind was at. And that speaks to that. And he also said that Aniya had past traumas that he was trying to fix that had nothing to do with him, right? So it wasn't all lust. But when we get to lust, let's talk about Trinity bringing Corey in the house and lip locking with the nigga the first night in the photo booth. Miss Slowburn. It was very lustful. You was very lustful when it wasn't Bryce. You was ready to move on real quick, okay? Mel said that it looks like he used Aniya to stay there longer. Aniya said that when I say that you're a colleague, this is what I mean, and you guys knew it too, okay? So Corbin says, well, how is he playing it safe? How is he playing it safe? He went to Casa and he came back with something. He came back with something. How is he playing it safe? Right? Aniya said that Sean was her number 2. We didn't see Aniya pulling Sean for chats and exploring him. We seen her shoot a shot before he got eliminated, saying that she wanted him to be here, but she was playing it safe. She stayed with KC, who probably was her number 3, right? Since it was number 1, she went for that. She told Sean, or she told one of the girls that Sean was her number 2, right? Shit, knowing how she get down, Bryce probably was her number 3 because it don't seem like she want anything black, right? So she was the one playing it safe. She was the one that stayed with Sincere. She wasn't shooting her shot with nobody else. She was the one that stayed with KC because she wasn't shooting her shot with nobody else. Okay? Aniya said that she talked to all the guys. They never told her that KC didn't want it, right? Making her look like Boo Boo the Fool. Baby, you made yourself look like Boo Boo the Fool, and you still doing it. You still doing it. Okay? Bryce said that he told me that he told you when he gets to Casa that he was going to explore. Well, yeah, he did tell her that. The last convo, she told him to do what he wanted to do. And we found out that he actually told her that if she found somebody better to choose him for her, for yourself. If you find somebody better for you, choose it for yourself. And he said that she didn't tell him anything back. Again, that is him pouring into her or reassuring her or wishing her well, and she's not wishing it back. Okay? Trinity asked the guys, are they shocked at seeing what he said about him and Aniya's connection? And Bryce says something, and then Titi calls out the boys because she said that each and every one of them came up to her and told her that they had never seen KC so happy before. Right? They had never seen KC so happy before. And so he wasn't happy. Excuse me. He wasn't happy with Aniya. She's a stick in the mud. Okay? KC stopped. He said, look, don't put them into it. If y'all want to hate me, hate me. Quit inviting everybody else in. What do you mean, y'all? If you, Aniya, want to hate me, right? Trinity said, but you don't be saying shit. And he said, I'm saying it now. She said, anytime you had the time to talk, you don't be saying shit. And she clapping her hands. And she said, you had a chance to say it and you didn't. And it's starting to piss me the fuck off. Who the fuck gives a fuck about Trinity getting pissed off? Who gives a fuck about Trinity being pissed off? This ain't got nothing to do with Trinity. Okay? KC is trying to talk and say that he had those conversations with Aniya all the time, but they never solved shit. She always walk off crying or she get mad, right? She kind of manipulated the conversations to go the way that she wanted them to be. Or she would, she is real childish. She can't take a conversation that's not, it seems like she can't handle a conversation that's not going in her favor the way that she wanted to go. She would use these tactics where she would be pouting and crying or walking off and shit like that or whatever. She wasn't really into that man like that, child. It is what it is, okay? And the way that these girls started talking to KC was just deplorable. And if I'm Titi, ain't no way I would be sitting there like that. I would not be. And if I was never sure before, I am 100% sure that the producers and stuff got into TT's ear and said, baby, and I don't think that she would, if you're going, this is a show, we got to let them argue, we got to let them fight. You can't become, because I feel like that she was checking. I feel like it was more that went down with Titi, which is probably why she was the one that was apologizing. I feel like it was more, I feel like she did some major checking that night, okay? Casey said most of these clips are after an argument. Titi said something, girl, shut the fuck up. You and Bryce don't ever go through anything because y'all don't like each other and it's not real. Ain't no feelings involved there, okay? Kayda ended up addressing Zack and Alana not being there. She ended up asking if she was there, would he have picked her, okay? I don't want to dive too much into this, but I do understand how she feels because just the day before, and they showed it in the recap before they played this episode, Zack told her that if he wanted Alana to be there, he could have brought her back, and that's not true, right? He made it seem like he made a decision to be with Kayda, but there really wasn't a decision to be made, right? Kayda was actually all he had. That was all he had. Do I think that he would have picked Kayda? Yes, but he was presenting the situation to her in a way to make it feel like that, to make Kayda feel special and to make her feel chosen. And that was very manipulative and deceptive because you didn't really have another option. You couldn't have brought her back here. She was already over there at the podcast. She was already sitting over there at the podcast with Ray J. Okay? And notice, when Zack was talking and Trinity had something to say, she said it to Kayda. She did not address Zack. She said it to Kayda. Okay? Then the next clip is Aniya. Aniya saying that she was going to play the game 10 times harder. She didn't do it. Okay? She said she was tired of feeling like a stupid bitch. And Trinity, throughout this clip, had a lot of nasty shit to say. Okay? Then there's clips of the girls. Before the Casa guys came in, Aniya told Rihanna, and I quote, I'm really happy with KC. He's ready to be open and explore. And honestly, I'm happy to be and ready to be open and explore as well. Okay. They showed her kissing Carl. Okay. She said that she wanted to indulge in the experience and she wanted to put herself first instead of putting KC's feelings first. When was she ever putting KC down? I haven't seen her put KC's feelings first, and I'm just being honest with you. And I feel like I call it straight. I didn't see her put KC feelings first at all. Baby, you was not putting KC feelings first with you not exploring nobody in the house. You wasn't exploring nobody in the house because nobody wanted you, baby. Nobody wanted you. And while I'm there, I think that with the men, they should have been pulling bitches for chat. I mean, I feel like, because we're going to get into it too, I feel like with KC and the guys in the house, y'all have to set the tone, the mood in the house. Those girls are not, y'all got to pull the girls for chats. If they making it Friendship Island, pull the girls from chats and get the talking. Shoot your shot. Okay? Aniya, they showed Aniya kissing Carl. And the thing about it is that you can always tell how people feel about you. Because when Aniya was kissing Carl, the ugly friend who don't get no niggas and she finally get one, that's how they treated her video kissing Carl. Like, oh girl, I like this video. Okay, Lex, the sympathy compliments. You know what I'm saying? And her stupid ass just sitting there smiling with her head down. You know what I'm saying? Then when she asked Carl did he want to sleep in her bed, everybody saying, "Aw," and they gushing over it. Literally every girl, all of the girls asked the guys from Casa if they wanted to sleep in their bed. It was nothing special. But to Aniya, again, this is Aniya they are treating Aniya with sympathy compliments. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are we talking about? Everybody, that was nothing special. That was nothing special, okay? After Aniya's video, the guys acknowledged the double standards because they both explored. KC and Aniya explored. Aniya said she never said anything disrespectful. And so Sincere started talking and he told them to shut the fuck up because they started trying to do him like they was going to do KC. And he told them to shut the fuck up. He talking to Aniya. And of course, he was able to tell them to shut the fuck up because he was not seen as a threat because he's not black. They don't see him as black. He's Afro-Latina, but they don't see him as black, right? The same way that Evelyn Lozada and Cardi B get to walk around, get to how they get to operate in the world, right? They get to operate in a world that a black woman don't get the way to operate in. And it's the same thing that happens with Sincere. He could tell the girls to shut the fuck up and it won't be seen as aggressive or anything like that, okay? Because they don't see him as a threat. And they got quiet. And Aniya told them to be quiet. I can talk, okay? Sincere said that they showed your video first and KC second, it would be the same thing. It may have been, his video may have been more disrespectful, but it was the same thing. And so Aniya said, look, I don't care that he explored. It was the disrespect. And Zack said what I've been saying since the recoupling. Aniya didn't see what KC said or did in Casa outside of the challenge, right? All of the men did the same thing. So what was disrespectful? And I'll tell you what I said before. What was disrespectful to Aniya was him walking in with Titi, period. Him walking in with Titi, period. She was going to be mad regardless because he walked in with somebody else and she was embarrassed. So there was no way that he could have, it would have been disrespectful to her regardless because she was embarrassed and he walked in with somebody else. They would literally have to change the way that they walk in, that, you know, have him walking in by himself, then breaking the news to her for her not to find it disrespectful. She was going to be disrespectful regardless because he walked in with another bitch. He walked in with another bitch. It would have been disrespectful regardless, okay? Titi spoke up. Titi said the roles were reversed and you chose to couple up with Carl. They would have respected your decision and they would not have ganged up on you. And then she said, y'all jumped this man for finding a connection. And Kayda said, I'll do that shit again, bro. I'll do that shit again. Her and Trinity, blah, blah, blah. See, that's what I'm saying. They had to have that shit right there that Kayda and Trinity did. If I'm Titi, I'm chin checking that shit. Bitch, no, you won't do it again. Not my nigga. You wouldn't be doing it again. Because I like to fuck you up. You wouldn't have did it again. You think that you would have did it again because I didn't get the whoop on your ass. That's why you think that you would have did it again. But if I would have been able to do what I really wanted to do, y'all wouldn't have been doing that shit again. I know you would. Okay? So Aniya is caught up. Aniya is caught up. She said, why are we giving him so much sympathy? They weren't giving him sympathy. They were calling out that you was just upset that he found a connection and you weren't really disrespected. You didn't really feel you felt disrespected in that moment. You wasn't really disrespected. You felt disrespected in that moment because he came in with another woman. Okay? Casey said, I can only say sorry so many times. And he was apologizing because she was saying that she was disrespected. But he didn't do anything, right? Before they showed that video, he didn't do anything but walk in. Okay? Casey said, y'all can gang up on me all y'all want, but why Titi? She didn't do nothing. Aniya says, we didn't gang up on her one time. Yes, y'all did. Yes, y'all did. Because when she said, y'all don't tell me what to do, the whole dismissing her, Trinity interrupted her while she was talking to Ariana. And Titi interrupted what she was saying and started talking. And then y'all told her to be quiet. And when she said, is you gonna make me be quiet? And y'all, Kayda, well, get this bitch up out of here. That's the wrong way to come into the villa, bitch. Y'all were ganging up on her. Y'all were. Okay? So Casey got up to explain, and Aniya, who had just been called out, knew it wasn't a good look. So she tried to get up and play big and back and got up and walked across the yard, right? Yelling in Casey's face and got in CC's face. Got up in Casey's face. And you can tell that Aniya had never been around no real niggas before, right? Or just niggas, period. Because I know niggas who would have met Aniya halfway and knocked her motherfucking ass out. I know niggas, I feel like that Aniya wouldn't have got up and walked over there to Corbin like that. Corbin give me the type, if she would have walked up over there on Corbin gave me, he would have slapped the shit out of her ass. You don't walk up on a man like that, baby. Because when I was growing up, people was telling their kids, raising their kids, if somebody hit you, hit them back. Even nowadays, people are raising their children, if a woman hit you, you hit them back. If a woman would hit you, you hit them back. You got some women that can whoop niggas. You get what I'm saying? So you thinking that you could just get up and walk up on a nigga the way that you did, she was doing the most. She was doing the most. But what was so funny about it is when Titi asked who gonna shut me up, Aniya said it's this bad girls club, right? AKA, I don't want no problems. I don't want no smoke. And you didn't want no smoke with Titi because she was your equal. She another woman. But you walked up on KC because he was a man. And if he do something or react, you can play victim. You can play victim. She can play victim. That's what she did. I see it on YouTube all the time. I see it on YouTube all the time. The people will go on and try to play with men or gay men so they could play victim, right? If he do something bad, but they would never approach another woman. And if you ask me, Aniya was very aggressive.
I don't give a fuck what y'all saying. I don't give a fuck what y'all saying at all.
She was very aggressive. Very aggressive. But I want to see her do that to another woman. I want to see her do it to another woman. I don't think that she would have came out her body like that. Okay? They got through with that one. Now it's Sincere's clip. Baby. Baby, I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Okay? I felt like that honestly, when I watched KC clip, his clip gave me, I'm not saying that it was, his clip gave me 15 minutes. Sincere's clip gave me 30 minutes, baby. It was a lot. It was a lot. And his clip was just in the villa. We didn't even get to Casa Amor, baby. It was just, because I was upset after they showed Sincere clip, because I don't feel like they showed everything, but we found out that there's going to have to be a part 2. Sincere did so much shit, he got a part 2. Okay? So with Sincere, they showed everything that went down with Soul, baby. Okay? He kissed Soul first. He lied and told Melanie that he didn't kiss her first, that she kissed him first. And when she asked him about the kiss, Soul asked him, getting ready to kiss. He said, of course he wanted to kiss her. Okay? He ended up telling Soul that he get butterflies around her. Okay? And he told her another time, another clip, he told her, I'm not a love at first sight person, but I could kind of gauge stuff. Basically telling her, I feel like I'm in love with you at first sight. And I'm willing to explore you. And he reached and kissed her. Okay? Over there in Soul Ties. Was it Soul Ties? It wasn't Soul Ties. Whatever it was. All the fields. Something upstairs. Okay? Mel ended up coming in. And it looked like Soul was getting ready to straddle him. Right? But Soul heard the door or somebody outside the door. And she started walking towards the door. And she said, perfect timing. And Sincere said, it is perfect timing. Okay? They showed Mel ended up asking, it was speakeasy. Mel ended up asking Sincere, did they kiss in the speakeasy? And he said, yeah, we kissed, but it was nothing crazy. Baby, y'all didn't kiss in the speakeasy? Every kiss that you and Soul had was crazy, baby. Every kiss that y'all had was tongue. You was feeling those kisses. Okay? He ended up telling Melanie that nothing could compare to her, and he said that Soul asked for the kiss. He told the guys that he kissed Soul that he enjoyed it, and it was something that he has never felt since he's been into the house, since he's been into the villa, I mean. So that means that he was telling the guys that Soul kisses was better than Melanie's. Okay? Sincere said that he felt wanted by Soul, something that he hasn't felt with Melanie. With Melanie, he felt like he had to chase. And so, again, these are the same sentiments as KC. And what I'm getting that the girls this season outside of Kenzie didn't explore. And so that is what made the season kind of boring, right? The girls aren't really exporting. They're treating this like Friendship Island, Girls Island. They're just trying to stay with one person. The girls aren't really exploring. They kissing people outside of the challenges, but they're not really exploring or willing to explore, okay? He ended up telling Mel that I'm not going to keep kissing Soul. And let me change it and not say Soul. He ended up telling Mel, I'm not going to keep kissing that lady or that girl. He didn't say her name, right? And he said that he didn't want to explore her anymore, okay? Baby went right up to Soul, got her in Soul Ties. They was hugged up and was kissing. Kissed her hand, and then they started tonguing, okay? The whole time, Amara is laughing and looking at Melanie. If I'm Melanie, baby, ain't no way Amara could be sitting there laughing. And I know that you was over here with this nigga. Girl, what's up? You know what I'm saying, bitch? What's up? I feel away. You know what I'm saying? Mel ended up asking, in another clip, Mel ended up asking Sincere, what was his plan? He said that he's not going to keep kissing Soul. After recoupling with Soul, he told Soul that this is what I want. This is what he said. He said, this is what I want. Now, remember, before he got coupled up with Soul, he told Melody that no matter what happens, I'm still with you, because America had voted him with Soul, right? But he told Melody, no matter what happens, I'm still with you. Don't worry about it. I'm still with you. And they forgot to put that clip in there. They should have put that clip in there too. That would have been beautiful. Okay? But he ended up telling Soul, this is what I want. Cheers to longevity, to honesty, and growth. Okay? He told Mel, follow me, beloved. And in the next clip, he was calling Soul beloved. And the girls was laughing. And Trinity, specifically, had her hands over her mouth when she laughed. Had her hands over her mouth when she laughed. She didn't want Melanie to hear her laughing like that. Okay? They was kissing when he told her, come on, beloved. Okay? And then he tells her that he feels like they're getting closer and closer. And they ended it with with Soul looking around saying that I'm happy. Mama, happy.
No, you.
Mama, happy. Bitch, I love it. Baby, Sincere had her feeling like big puss, baby. She was in the house feeling like big puss, baby. She said, Mama, happy. She called herself mother. I'm the mother of these bitches. Right? I done came in here and took Sincere. I'm mother. Okay? Sincere started talking. It was silence. Nobody wanted to ask him a question. Nobody cursed him out. Nobody said anything. Okay? Sincere said that he was exploring Soul. He might have did too much, but at the end of the day, he know where he wants to be. He said, I'm sorry for how I conducted myself. And he said, obviously, I'm apologizing to Melanie here. Basically, fuck the rest of you bitches and what y'all think. I'm talking to Melanie because she is who I'm in a couple with. Right? And KC, you ought to take some notes. I'm with you on some shit, but you ought to be taking notes. This is how you need to be communicating. Fuck them other hoes. I'm talking to the person I'm in the couple with. Okay? He said it makes me feel really bad because it is really bad. I did what I did. I can't take that back. I said what I said. I can't take that back. Nobody said shit. Right? It wasn't what the fuck that Kayda and Trinity was saying when KC said the same thing. It was none of that. Okay? Melanie looked down the whole time and she looked like she had to find the strength in her to say, I don't have anything to say. So can we play the next clip? And when she said clip, her voice was trembling and it broke up. Okay? And as they was trying to play the clip, she said, I'm shaking. And she told Aniya, can you hold my hand? And she said, yeah. And Aniya said, are you sure you don't want to say anything? And she said, I'm okay. And Aniya tells her, girl, you're not crazy. America saw that he was lying. And I don't want you to go crazy with all this in your head. You are beautiful. You are loved. And you are seen. And I would feel bad for Mel. I'm a sensitive Cancer. I would feel bad for Mel. But when she was at Casa, she said all of them niggas warned her. All of them niggas warned her. And she still chose Sincere. And she's not going nowhere. She's not going nowhere. So I don't feel bad for her. She's not going nowhere because it already happened. We already worked through that. Y'all didn't work through that because you didn't see exactly what happened. Right? We're going to put it in your face. The producer said, we're going to put this in your face to show you exactly what happened. Okay? And I really don't feel bad for her after Gal pied her. And she said matter of factly, because remember, Gal pied her and said, my best friend, you said my best friend in the house home who was Corey. And she said, matter of factly, I will always pick Sincere. So you got him, babe. You got him, babe. This is what you got, Sincere. Okay? The whole time, nobody addressed Sincere. Not nobody else. Hell, Melanie didn't even address him. Nobody addressed Sincere. And the crazy part about it is, I would much rather a motherfucker do me like KC did than playing in my motherfucking face the way that Sincere did Melanie. Because make no mistake, baby, he was playing
In my mother face. I hate that.
Make no mistake, Sincere was playing in her motherfucking face. Okay? And that was the episode. Let me say this. The reason why the women treat KC the way that they do in the villa is because of two reasons. Because Aniya allows it, and another reason is because they don't have any respect for Aniya. Hear me out. When Zack went, and later when Sincere went, it was complete silence because of where they rank in the group. Kayda and Mel rank high in the friend group, right? So when they niggas talk, ain't nobody else gonna talk, because if they say something to they niggas, that will be disrespectful to Kayda and that will be disrespectful to Mel, right? Trinity would never talk to their man like that. She would never do it. She would never do it, right? And my thing is, you don't talk to your friend's partner or ex like that because you don't know if they'll get together or not. You don't know what'll happen with two humans. You don't know if they get together or not. So you don't talk to their partners and stuff like that, right? Everything that Trinity does is because she doesn't have respect for Aniya, right? Even when she told Aniya, go and pick that nigga and be a stupid bitch if you want to. Baby, she would never tell that to Mel. A nigga can't dog a bitch more out than Sincere has done Mel. And she will never tell Mel, go on and pick that nigga and be a stupid bitch if you want to, right? Because her respect for Mel won't allow her to talk to her like that. And let's talk about what happened in the villa before Casa. Before the men went to Casa, KC didn't explore anybody. KC didn't explore anybody. Sincere exploded soul in Mel's motherfucking face. And nobody has ever called her a stupid bitch. Nobody has ever called her a stupid bitch. Nobody. Nobody has called Trinity a stupid bitch. Nobody has called Trinity a stupid bitch. Because the truth of the matter is that her man, Bryce, would have explored with Kayda, but she shut it down. She didn't want to explore with him. Right? They both stepped on the red. They both went and got rejected. She lost to a bitch with one leg. Okay. Then they came back and he wanted to explore with Kayda again. And Kayda told him no. No. And nobody called Trinity a stupid bitch. That man don't want you, girl. Nobody said that to her. But how is Aniya the stupid bitch when KC has been respectful? He has been respectful. He hasn't explored nobody. He hasn't explored nobody. All he did was pull Soul for one chat. Just one chat. And nobody ever called them a stupid bitch. Aniya never called one of them girls a stupid bitch. But Aniya's the stupid bitch. They don't have respect for Aniya, right? Aniya is the rich girl who want to fit in and they want to make her feel like she down, but they don't respect her. They don't respect her, okay? And it is what it is. It's the truth, baby. I seen it. But you know, y'all, that was the episode. I really did enjoy the episode. I'm not gonna lie to you, baby. My heart was, baby, listen. I hope that there's some good stuff in there, but I was upset because I felt like this is not all of the stuff that's sincere that we're gonna see. I wanted them to show. I thought that in that package, we was going to see Sincere say that he forgot what Mel's face looked like in a negative way. I believe that he was telling either Caleb or I believe he was telling it to Caleb. I forgot what Mel's face looked like. So I see on the clip that we got a whole nother package for Sincere. And the fact that we got two packages of Sincere, I can't imagine if they got another package of KC. But the fact that we got a whole nother package of Sincere lets you know who should be the real villain of the show. That they got two packages with his dirty ass. Again, two packages of Sincere, which the first package was the stuff that happened in the villa. We seen him explore Soul in Melanie's face, but Trinity never called her a stupid bitch. Right? But Aniya's the stupid bitch. Stop me when I'm not telling the truth. Stop me when I'm not telling the truth. Aniya's a stupid bitch, but Mel ain't. Mel is the stupidest bitch on the show. Mel is the weakest bitch on the show. Right? Trinity can hide behind her stuff because she's forced to stay with Bryce because they don't really like each other. But girl, please. Girl, please. Okay? Y'all, that's all I got right now. Okay? I don't really got nothing to ask, baby. I don't really got nothing to ask. I just want to listen. I can't wait for the episode to come on tonight. I'm gonna have the reviews up probably the next morning, the next couple of episodes. But I want to leave y'all on this. Mama happy. Thank y'all so much for clicking on the video, y'all. I really appreciate the love and support, and I will see y'all later. Adios.